welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. I'm the mom and I do the movie reviews. And my goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so that you can make the best decision as to whether or not you want to spend time or money or both sometimes watching a specific film. Now, I saw this movie a while ago and I can't believe I haven't filmed my movie review. Sorry about that. But today, the movie I'm reviewing is called Meg 2, The Trench. This scary / funny movie released in theaters on August 4th, 2023. It's rated PG-13 and is an hour and 56 minutes. My overall movie review mom grade is a B or a B minus. Let me explain why. I'll give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I liked and didn't like, as well as offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, interesting lines, funny lines, and recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you might also really like if you get a kick out of this one. All right, you ready to dive in? In a nutshell, this sequel to the summer blockbuster, The Meg, the first one, features a research team that encounters multiple threats while exploring the oceanic trench. Add in environmental messaging and evil mining operations and humorous conversations about parenting, and you get a green sequel that has even more bites than the first film. The film was directed by Ben Wheatley. Writing credits go to John Hober, Eric Hober, and Dean Jorgaris. Hopefully I pronounced those names correctly. If not, I apologize. So let me give you a list of things that I really liked about this movie. First of all, if you like Jason Statham, as I do, you'll get a kick out of this movie. He also worked as one of the executive producers of the film. He's great at comedy, drama, and of course, action. So if you like the first Meg movie, then this is more of the same shtick and a lot of fun. Other cast members include Jing Wu, Shua Sophia Kai, Paige Kennedy, Sergio Perez Manchetta, Sienna Gullery, Cliff Curtis, and Skylar Samuels. So yeah, everyone does a really great job. Like the first Meg movie, there is a lot of Chinese influence. Now, I've been to China many times on business trips, and I love the country and its people. One of my sons fell in love with the Chinese people as much as I did on one of my business trips when I got to take him. And he ended up marrying a lovely girl from Hong Kong. And now I have an adorable Chinese grandson who is half Chinese and half Caucasian. He is ridiculously cute. Anyway, back to the movie. There are impressive set pieces. For a creature feature, we see plenty of crazy creature feature action. The movie, thankfully, doesn't take itself too seriously. The trailer clearly showed us that this would be a goofy summer popcorn movie, and it is. So if you enjoy watching mean-spirited, stupid people die, this film is for you. Some of the visual effects are great, while others aren't quite so much. The scenarios are just ridiculous, but no one will ever say that this movie isn't creative. In addition to an even bigger Meg than we saw in the first film, we see sharks, more Megs, and a bunch of creepy, crawly monsters that fight dirty. There is just never a dull moment. Well, maybe a few, but otherwise lots of action. Now, when I think of the things that I didn't like so much, I can't fault people for their heavy Chinese accents. Yet some people probably will. It is definitely a collaboration between China and Hollywood here in the United States of America. So just know that going into it. Now, apparently, Paige Kennedy, one of the actors in the film who happily collected his paycheck, stated, quote, "This is some dumb beep beep. Mark my words." I can't even say the words that he said, and he was making fun of the movie, but happy to be in it. So British director Ben Wheatley is known for his horror movies such as Free Fire, In the Earth, and Kill List. Now, I don't know if you're fans of those, but fans of the horror genre have been talking about how disappointed they are that this movie doesn't have enough blood and gore. But I am totally fine without all of that. This is not really a true horror movie per se, more of a comedy. Now, don't get me wrong, there is some blood and some gore because people get eaten and die and that kind of stuff, but it's not like Sharknado where just there's blood splurting everywhere. Thank goodness. Sometimes it is hard to tell exactly what's happening in the dark scenes, and when creatures are all over the place attacking humans, you're like, wait, what happened? What's going on? And then there is shaky cam on occasion. Thankfully, it's not during the whole movie. I hate shaky cam. The movie itself is just outlandish. And I don't know about the science and the tech part of it, but I'm going to venture out on a limb and say it's probably not accurate. The villains are easily unlikable and just really silly. But there are villains, I'm just saying. I think in the first movie, the villain was more fun to watch because it was one of the fan favorites from the popular TV show Dwight, in The Office. And so it was fun to watch him. In this one, the villains are just kind of annoying, if anything. Now, let me give you some tips for parents. In the very first scene, we see dangerous prehistoric creatures fight and devour each other. There's lots of destruction. People are in perilous situations often. A lot of people die in the movie. Some people violently fight each other and other creatures with various weapons. And as I mentioned, there is blood and gore. So it's not like a sanitized movie. There is some blood and guts and stuff. So some of the themes, though, that are illustrated very well in the movie are respecting Mother Nature and the environment, respecting animal life, courage, using those critical thinking skills, thinking fast, survival, loyalty, friendship, keeping promises, and greed. Now, whenever I watch movies, I always take notes simply so I can share the lines with you so you can get a taste and feel for the dialogue and the script writing. So I always write down funny lines and interesting lines on my written review at moviereviewmom.com, but I'll share a few of them with you right now. So first of all, James Mac McReady's is a character who's played by Cliff Curtis. And he's talking to this one character. There's a lot of goofing around where characters poke fun at each other. And so there's this one moment where he says, I can't believe you've gotten this far in life without knowing how to tie a tie. And he's talking specifically to the Jason Statham character. And then in another moment, same character also talking about the Jason Statham character says, he's like a green James Bond, meaning, he's environmentally friendly. Now, if you watch the first one, you'll remember that a main character actually died, the mother of a little girl, and it was just heartbreaking. So Jason Statham's character promised he would take care of this girl. So now we get to see him in the role of a parent, or at least he's attempting to be a parent to this little girl, Mei Ying. And so they're having this argument, and she says, in psychology, they call it cognitive dissonance. And then he says, in the real world, they call it parenting, because he's very strict with her. And I just thought that was really cute. He's trying his hardest. And then another funny line that Jason Statham, I guess funny as in cheesy, that'll make your eyes roll, is when he's talking to somebody who's getting chomped up, and he says, see you later, chum, as in sea chum in the ocean, anyway, do you know what chum is? All right. And then I have to share some dumb lines because the movie is filled with them. Real genius lines like, we're all gonna die. And several times the character will say, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And somebody else will say, that doesn't seem like a good idea. And that is said several times. All right, now let me give you some recommendations for some other films that I think that you'll like, that I thought of as I was watching this one. One is called The Shallows, and it is woman versus shark. And there's a lot of tension, and we get to see a beautiful actress. It's Blake Lively, but she actually does a really good job. And the shark looks pretty real. And so if you're into that action, I think you might enjoy that movie. Another one is called The Reef. And it's also a lot of live action people trying to survive shark action and death. And then another one that has been hailed as one of the great shark movies of all time is called The Requiem, Requuin. Same thing, people trying to survive sharks who are trying to kill them. Anyway, check out all of those. I think that you'll enjoy those, especially if you don't like the Sharknado movies and you want a more realistic one. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. I hope that if you watch this movie, you get a kick out of it. And by the way, if you are interested in becoming a Movie Review Mom member, click down below and you can see some of the perks and benefits for being a member. And run over to Facebook and join our Facebook group called, you guessed it, Movie Review Mom. All right, have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.